evening, everybody. It's not like me to be StreamYarding out here at this time of the night, but I am doing because I've got a very special guest for you tonight. I don't know if you've seen today, but I have been going live with um, some of some of the Be Inspired alumni who have volunteered their time to come and talk to us about what their Be Inspired experience was like and also what they've been getting up to since. So for a lot of our alumni who've just this second like finished Be Inspired, there's often this sort of, okay, so what happens next? And the question that I'm often asked by people jumping in is, so I'm going to do this with you, Danny, but what do we do afterwards? What do we do with this experience that we create together over the course of the 6 months? So I thought I would share with you with a variety of alumni exactly what our alumni get up to. So this morning we was talking to the glorious Louisa Herridge about her onward journey after Be Inspired. She took part in Be Inspired, the event a year ago, almost a year ago to the day, where we took our lockdown cohort into the TV studio and we did an online version of Be Inspired, which was phenomenal in and of itself. We then spoke to Sarah Turner this afternoon, who is fresh off of the TEDx stage. She literally, this Saturday just gone, has participated in her very first TEDx in Northwich and blew it out of the water. And we also spoke to Tanya Ibbotson, who has just finished Be Inspired, talking to us about what her experience has been like and also what she is doing in the aftermath. So, for example, she's released her book out into the world. So speaking and utilizing speaking can work in lots of different ways. Lots of people come to work with me for lots of different reasons. Some of them it's to improve their business. For some of them it's to improve the way that they take up space in the world. For some people it's they're already positioned as experts and they want to amplify that positioning already. And Niki Kinsella is one of those incredible people who came to work with me on Be Inspired and took to the stage September just gone, and she was phenomenal. So she's gonna come through and speak to you now. If you are watching along, please do let me know that you're there. Don't be a voyeur. Come and say hello. Come and grab yourselves a brew as me and Niki Kinsella snuggle in for a bit of a brew and a chat about Be Inspired. Hello, you.
Hello, you. You okay?
I am okay. How are you, my love?
A call. I'm a
bit.
Yeah, I'm good. Good. Yeah, I'm good. I've had a really good day.
Amazing. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. We've got some lovely people watching along. We've got Paula Jean Fizzlers watching along. Helen McHugh in the house. Hey, Helen. Louisa Herridge is watching along. Hello, my angels. If you are watching along, let us know that you're there. Come and say hello, honey. And me and Niki are going to be talking about Be Inspired. It has been a hot minute since you and I caught up properly, hasn't it?
Yeah. It feels like it's been forever.
It does. It feels like forever and a lifetime ago and 5 minutes ago, all rolled into one.
I was just thinking then when you said September, I was like, was it September? It feels like forever ago. But then when I was at Be Inspired in March, I was like, oh my God, I can remember doing this. And watching all the speakers going on stage, and I was like, it's okay. You won't remember a thing. Just go on.
She's drugged your water. She hasn't drugged the water, by the way. But it is this funny out-of-body experience, isn't it? When you get that you kind of done all this work and we've worked together and we've loved on each other and we're a tight-knit family by the time Be Inspired rolls along. And then you get on stage and it's like this out-of-body experience, isn't it, when you're on there?
Yeah, you just don't really know what's going on, but you know it's the best thing that's ever happened in the world. And you're just like, oh my fucking God, this is amazing. Yeah, it for me, the reason I did it was because it scared the shit out of me, basically, and I wanted to build my confidence. And I didn't know I'd had a really bad speaking experience before where I'd just gone bright red and chatted a load of waffle and wanted the floor to open me up and everything. So it was sort of to prove to myself that I could do it.
Yeah.
And when I watched it back, I was like, I did it. Even though I forgot loads out of it and it was all a bit mishmash, it made sense and nobody knew. And I got my message across, and so many people when I was there in March were like, I remember watching you, and I was like, did you watch me? Oh, God.
Yeah, and there is this when we do Be Inspired, as a cohort we always go all in. So each of our audiences get involved. Each of our audience are either, you know, watching online or watching in the audience. And I always find it wonderful. There is always people that I don't know that's in the room, and it's my event. And there's always people that come up to our cohort afterwards and go, "Oh my God, what you said was so inspiring." And you was talking about being a butterfly in a box, weren't you? That was your
Yeah.
talk title, and it was beautiful. Tell us a little bit about your talk.
It was my story of, it's my journey of healing, really. And at the time, I was comparing myself to a lot of what other people were talking about, because they had like Jo McMeechan was a doctor and she had all this sciencey stuff today and was very, very clever, and it was amazing. And I was like, oh my God. And then I went on straight after and just told a story.
Yeah.
But being in the room this time and feeling the energy and the power of the story. So when you feel like you've got nothing to say, believe me, if you've got a story, like, oh my God, the impact that it had. And the amount of people afterwards as well that were like, I really resonated with your story. And it's when we share from our heart that we connect with other people. So
Yeah.
it's so important to share if you've got something that you do feel, you know, you've accomplished. And I was out the other side a little bit more than I thought it was, which you helped me.
Are you getting phone calls? You've gone quiet. I can't hear you now. Oh no, you're back.
I'm back. Sorry, I keep getting a phone call and keep.
It's all right. It just sounds even better now, which is great. It was crackling before, and now you sounds dead good.
So yeah, but you helped me realise that it doesn't always have to be about something. It's like that connection is massive, isn't it? So mine was the story of the feminine energy guide, and how and where it came from and why it was so important to me and how it helps people. And I just loved every second of it. And if there's anyone out there that's just sitting on the sideline that's thinking of doing it, it was honestly one of the best things I've ever done in my whole life. And I'm not blowing smoke up Danny's hoo-ha because I'm sitting here talking tonight. I honestly mean that from my heart. I loved it.
And it's not just on that one level either, is it? It's not just on the, all right, so I'm going to work with Danny and I'm going to speak, and I'm going to get up on stage and I'm going to do a talk, and I'm going to get off, and then I'm going to be a speaker after that. Because whilst for some people that's the outcome, they want to become a speaker and they want the assets and they want everything to, you know, so that they can go and get booked. Actually, hearing you now in your copy, in your, you know, your social media presence, within the retreats that you create and sell out every single time, by the way, like, it is
Still
insanity.
got space for Mexico.
Oh no, I really want to go with you.
Oh my
if
God,
I can tear myself away, there's also you know what, this community is just amazing. You're all doing amazing things, and between you and our Claire Morton, and between flipping our Jodie Salt, and you all do, there's amazing things, and I want to go and do everything, and my kids won't forgive me if I spend any more time away. I'm gonna do in a couple of weeks' time, Tony Robbins' Wealth Mastery. I'm going to an Airbnb with a couple of friends, and we're going to go and we're going to do the event bit in the room. So I don't know how that's going to work. But
my mate does that and she loves it. She's in his mastermind, and she absolutely loves it. So it'll be amazing.
I'm nervous. It's been the first bit of real sort of immersive personal development I've done for a bit. So it was booked ages ago, and I've only just remembered. And I was like, oh shit, I've got to go away for a few days. I'm not ready. But you've gone on to repeatedly put retreats out there, selling them out and working with people. And I certainly wouldn't attribute all of your success down to Be Inspired, because you work with some phenomenal mentors as well. But what have you gone on to do after Be Inspired, and how was that different than before you went through this process? Because you were already working in the energetic space, in the spiritual space. Like, how is it different? Because it is different. It feels different, and it feels like you take up so much more space in strength as an expert now.
I think I've just got more confidence. Like, I know that my story matters. Well, it does matter, and it was impactful, and I know what I've got to say. And I've gone on to do other talks as well. I did one last week What day is it? Monday. Yeah, I did
I
one
have
last
no
week.
idea what
I
day.
don't even know.
I'm not the best person to ask.
And the people, like, I just shared my story again. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? And I've been invited and by Sue France for, is it Cheshire Ladies? Oh, they're just
Yes.
lovely.
Oh, she's amazing. I'm
So,
speaking at their literary lunch in October. I can't wait.
oh, um, so I didn't know what to talk about. And I was like, right, I'm just going to tell my story. But because I'd done it already and I knew it and I was
Yeah.
confident in what I was saying and I
It
knew,
was just there already.
it was already there and that's it. And when I've gone on to do podcasts or when I've been asked questions or on an interview or I've been a guest speaker or anything like that, I've always had that underlying hum of like, I know my story and
Yeah.
I can answer any questions. And
It's
it's
like you've
just
got it
been,
all in your back pocket ready to go, and it all speaks to your outcomes as well, which I think is a really important thing.
yeah,
That, you know, if you are going to speak off of the back of doing something like Be Inspired, speaking with intention's really important. Speaking
massive.
in, if I think of like the strap line that I use on the top end of Be Inspired before we get into all the hard work that we do, is to reach more people and make more money. That's what I want for the people that come and work with me, or reach more people and have more impact, depending on whether they work within activism, for example, and it isn't centered around a business. But to see you just have that kind of Rolodeck of stories that you can dip in and out of. You know, we did your story finder session over a couple of sessions, and there's quite a process, isn't it, when we start to
Yeah,
pull those stories through and start to understand like the whole timeline of the situation and what stories have driven you to make the decisions that you've made now and create the business that you've created now and link all those together. It's quite a process, isn't it?
it's amazing because you don't realize what you've been through. And it's like I
Mm.
mean, I've done timelines before,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like you don't really know what you've been through, and then you're like, shit, look at how far I've come, and it's
Yeah.
about, it really empowers you and you embody everything. That's the word that I want to use, is like the embodiment of
Right.
the feminine energy guide. And
Yeah.
yeah, that
It goes
just,
from being a concept to being a you on like you like actually, and you say embodying it. And
yeah,
for you, I think what the beautiful thing was, and I remember saying this to you because you'd said to me about you know, you've got, you know, Joe McMeechan and she's speaking about this, and we've got Deep and she's speaking about this, and we've got Sky and she's speaking about this, and I'm kind of just telling my story. And I remember saying to you, but Niki, your story is necessary
yeah,
in terms of, if we think our talks and the way that we market ourselves are the vehicle, it's necessary to the creation of your vehicle. Like Deep, for example, is a chartered jet, and you are a Concorde, and somebody else is a limousine, and everyone else has got their own vehicles, but there's only you driving it. And your
yeah,
story is intrinsic, and your growth, what you've come through and why you care, is really married up to the work that you do now. And
yeah,
was it wouldn't have, if you'd just stood on stage and talked about your modalities and that would have been it, it
yeah. There's no
wouldn't have
connection,
hit,
is there?
it wouldn't have hit right. No, not at all. So to see, and you created this beautiful moment as well. Like we talk about the different processes. So we've got story finding, and then we go through an edit, and then we go through an elevation. So elevation is the bit of the process where we take it from being a talk to almost like a performance, right?
Yeah,
So instead of it just being this is my story and this is what happened there and this is what happened then and now I do this, and like
there's a
you
process, a
create this
proper process.
beautiful moment where you set off, the whole thing was a butterfly, you know, talking about being a butterfly in a box, and you set off a butterfly cannon and all these beautiful butterflies came down, and we captured that, not like on
Yeah.
video, we captured it on photographs, and captured that elevation. Do you still use any of those assets, or were they kind of a moment in time as for you to look
Oh,
back on now? Or
no, I haven't used anything like that since. I think that's just, it's too special to
ah
replicate. I just always think that, because I remember when it finished, there were little butterflies like floating down, just landing on people as I was still talking, and it was
it
just
was
magic.
really magic. It was real, and
Yeah.
that is, and Niki, that is what you create in people's lives. Like even now, like you create magic for people, and the way that you
Oh,
articulate it is so compelling and so beautiful that people they're driven to work with you now. And when me and you first started working together, I remember you created your community, and you were working on different programs, and I've just see it get like with the book. You had a book launch just before, didn't you? Just
Yeah,
before
2 weeks before.
Be Inspired, and lots of people do. They'll work with Abby Horn at Authors and Co, and they'll come and work with me and do the two like in tandem. And you did that just beautifully. So you had this like book launch, you become a bestseller. Then a few weeks later, you came onto the Be Inspired stage, had this beautiful situation, and then looking at what people queue up now to come and work with you because of that positioning work that you've done. I think it's just amazing what you've created.
Oh, thank you. It just really gives you confidence in what you're saying as well. And again, I'm going to use that word, but like embodying the feminine energy guide and all the principles of it, and really getting it made me realize what, like, I knew why they were so important, but sharing it like that, and people going, oh my God, you know, the connection. And the book had just come out, and people were seeing, like, people were reading the book and then wanting to watch Be Inspired because the book had come out, and or not ever hearing of me, and then being like, oh my God, you're my human, I need you in my life. And like the amount of people that have come to work with me since Be Inspired, who I didn't really even know were watching. And that's the thing, is you never know who's watching. And I know a lot of the other amazing ladies that I shared the stage with have gone on to have massive success because they didn't realize who was watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about that for a second, because one of the beautiful things about this process isn't just the working with me bit, it's that everybody else.
My God, we're still talking now. We've still got the group.
Even now, even today.
Yeah, it's like a sisterhood. It's like, I don't know if it's like this in all of the cohorts, but my particular cohort was just unbelievable. And all the ladies are still in really close contact, and we message each other most days, and we've got a
friends for life.
It really is.
And I see you supporting each other and cheering each other on, and in each other's lives, and not just from a work perspective, but from a real, like, these are my people perspective. And you've all had this experience that no one else has had.
We're all so different as well. Like Lizzie Jackson Barrett was a guest expert in my business group last week, and the girls absolutely loved it. And she's got a challenge starting tonight at 8:00. And you know, a couple of the girls will catch up because I've got my course at 8:00 tonight as well. But just introducing people to different people, and like I'm not an expert at everything, but I know if I need something, I'll be like, okay, who have I got? And I'll go through the girls, and I'm like, come on. You know,
because it's so varied. There's somebody for everybody, isn't there?
Yeah.
And to see you all have each other's back, even to this day, I mean, it's a testament to you guys, but a testament to what bonds are formed when you go through a mastermind like that, where there's this really powerful moment at the end. What about, really quickly, what about the investment? Because it's not small, is it? It's a bit of a chunk. How did you feel about it? And dare I ask, was it worth it?
Well, I took a loan out to do mine because I really wanted to do it. I knew I needed it to move forward. I knew I wanted it, and it was for me. And you know, I've put it through the business because it's a business. It's a business
100%
course.
It is. And with the assets that you get, you utilize them for your business. So that's absolutely.
It's tools that you have forever. And again, it's not just that experience. The confidence that you have, and the clarity that you have, and the connections, and for me, you know, I'd love to do it again. After watching the last one, I was like, I want to do it again.
And that's the thing that everybody says, like, let's go again. I'm like, okay. Niki, you are always welcome on my stage. You are phenomenal. You are an incredible human. The whole of the IATQB crew loves you. Thank you for coming to chat to us about your Be Inspired experience. Can you tell us what's coming up next for you?
Oh my God. So very, very quickly, I've got the FEG courses launching again in June. I've got a business retreat in October to help people create their own business courses and launch it. And I've got a retreat in Mexico in September. There's only 4 spaces left on that.
Oh,
but it's for you. It's for the busy female entrepreneur that doesn't stop, doesn't take time out, but knows she needs to slow down, to speed up, and needs to create space with no distractions.
If I could get away in September, if it wasn't the month of Be Inspired, I would be all over the mother chuffer.
There's Wi-Fi in the villa. We're on the beach. You can do it from the beach. Give me a week.
Oh, you're twisting me arm. I love it. I love it. If you do want to know more about Niki, about the Feminine Energy Guide practice that she has created, how do we get in touch with you, my darling?
You can message me, DM, direct. I'm on Facebook, Niki Kinsella, the Feminine Energy Guide, or I'm on Instagram as Niki Kinsella 80.
And you can find your book on the Amazon.
Oh yeah, Amazon, my book.
Yeah. And because you are an international bestseller, Niki Kinsella, I love you. I will speak to you shortly. I know you've got a session to run at 8 o'clock, so I know you've got to dash. But I love you. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us about your Be Inspired.
Always love you.
That was Niki Kinsella, everybody, the Feminine Energy Guide herself. Please do go and check her out. Go and check her book out on Amazon. She is just an incredible person to have in your life and in your heart. If you want to know more about Be Inspired or Be Heard, which is our entry-level program, please do go to imthequeenbee.co.uk/packages. We'll give you all of the details on all of the packages, or you could just go ahead and book a cheeky little 10-minute brewing a natter with me and see if it is for you and we are a fit. I will be back tomorrow, speak to more of our Be Inspired alumni about their experiences with Be Inspired and what they are up to now. I will see you then, Tra.